What do you want? What do you want?
We're on again.
Okay, we're back again. We'll try this a time or two, and if it just gets nasty, we'll just drop out.
Yep.
It's the biggest handicap to live streaming is all the buffering, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
one person made it back in already.
Oh boy. Oh, Kayla comes back.
Yeah, me too. I hope they all come back.
Yep. In the meantime, we'll just sit here and amuse ourselves, I guess.
Talk amongst yourselves, like the teacher used to say.
What we usually do anyway.
Right. Sean from Alaska got here. Hello, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Good to
How
see you.
Doing? Yeah, we're having buffering issues apparently, so we signed off our first one. Hi, Ellie. Thanks
Welcome
for coming
back.
And we're trying again. Maybe we'll get a cleaner connection this time.
Hi, Simplified Gardening.
Hi
It's
there.
good to see you. Welcome. Simplify, what is your first name and where are you from? Glad you're doing well, Sean.
How's your weather in Alaska today, Sean? You probably don't know it, but I spent a little time.
Hello, welcome. I'm glad you and Lou are here today. It's been a while.
I spent a little time in Alaska many, many, many years ago. I was actually out in the Aleutian Islands on a little island called Shemya. When I was still in the Air Force, we had what they called a White Alice site out there, which was over the horizon radar to watch the Russians. We were practically within sight of the Russian territories. And we had two aircraft. Both of them were 135s. And one of them was called Snoopy, and the other one was called Red Baron. And they would fly right along the edge of Russian airspace. And with all of their instrumentation, they would basically monitor Russia. It was all very highly classified, of course, back then. This was back in the early 70s.
Tony, thank you.
And
Kayla made it.
Oh,
back.
good, Kayla. I'm glad you came back, darling.
Sometimes we have problems when we start off, it buffers real bad and we have to go out and come in, and occasionally we have to do that 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, Shemya is the next to last island in the Aleutian chain. The nickname that it had was, officially it was called the Black Pearl of the Aleutians. Mm-hmm. We just called it the asshole of the Aleutians because, frankly, it was really out there. And they had to bend the international date line around us so that it would be the same day on Shemya that it was in the rest of the country. So they did that.
Kayla lives in San Diego, where we've been watching those zoo programs.
Yeah, we watch a lot of National Geographic and stuff, and one of our favorite programs is the zoo in San Diego. Has an hour-long show every week.
And they did a huge segment, this last one, on the California condor. Apparently, they found one in the wild that was injured and were able to rehabilitate it and let it go again. And that's really exciting because there are so few of them left.
In this last show, they hatched a couple. Remember, they had I'll tell you what, this bird was just a few weeks old, and they were getting ready to do an exam on it and put a chip on it and all that stuff. It's amazing how big that bird was already, just as a little bitty chick.
Yeah.
Of course, you're talking about a bird that when it's grown has got a 10-foot wingspan.
And they stand there with those wings out like that, and they look so majestic.
They fly over the Grand Canyon a lot.
Kayla said, her mom said she found out about it from her mom.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much for coming, Kayla. It's nice to see you. I don't know much about you, kiddo, but you got a good mother.
Hi, Carrie. Good to see you.
Hi. You have to forgive me. My voice is not real good today.
Welcome back, Celtic.
Yeah, there's Kayla. There's a lot of organizations out there that do help rehabilitate birds.
Hello, Alyssa.
I've worked at one of them here in San Antonio for a while, very short while, because it just kind of didn't work out. It was way, way, way across town, and
See you, Carrie.
it was just about
Thanks
the
for
time
dropping by for a minute.
my health kind of started dropping off, and it just got to be kind of tough to get over there. But they've got all kinds of birds over from all over this part of the country that are being rehabbed. A lot of them, they'll never be released, but that's okay too.
The first day we were there, one of the things that David got to do was they were socializing a small owl.
Little
It wasn't a
burrowing.
baby, it was a small owl.
It's a burrowing owl.
Yeah.
Little tiny ones are rather no bigger than that.
And
They're
his
just real
chore
small.
for the day was to carry this bird around. And he brought it to me, and I absolutely loved seeing it. Mark, you made it. Welcome. I'm so glad to see you here. We're doing well. Mark says you're
Mark,
looking good.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. Thanks to everybody, if I haven't already said so. But yeah, Alaska was very interesting. That year that I spent up there was, it was eventful. My son was born while I was there.
Celtic wants you to start a bird rescue here.
Well, I tell you, if I had the money, I would. That'd be, I've often told Kate that if I were ever to, I don't play it, but if I were to ever hit the lottery, one of my first things would be a raptor recovery center. And I would support that to the hilt. Yep.
Yay. I'm going to go look for it after the live stream, Alyssa. I don't want to start a bird rescue because I already have too much to do.
Well,
I would love to rescue the birds, but that's a lot of work.
I would be throwing money at it. That'd be about the extent of what I could do.
Speaking of doing things, guys, I have been very busy in my garden the last couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah, she has.
And yesterday, I was blessed to go on Facebook Marketplace and discovered that there was a lady about 35 or 40 miles from us that was giving away banana trees. All we had to do was drive up and take what we wanted. So I jumped in my car and I drove up there. It took 43 minutes or so to get there. And she had a huge garden wagon just full of them that she had been digging. They looked like they were pups from the bigger ones, and she'd been digging them out. So I pulled out as many as I could and brought them home, and it turned out that I probably had pretty close to 30 in all. So I filled up 4 big tubs with soil and lots of them, and then put 1 4-foot banana tree in a 5-gallon tub. So now I have a banana tree forest as well as everything else. And my strawberries have outgrown their tub already. They're in a 30-gallon tub. And I've got little babies on runners coming out from all over there. And I've made tea already from 2 of them. So,
Well, Kayla, the birds of prey need a lot of help, but I would also, given the opportunity, I would deal with surrendered birds. I've done that for years. All of our birds are rescues, all 3 of them. And there was a time over in Tallahassee where myself and a couple of other folks started up what would you call it? It wasn't exactly rehoming, but it was a foster program with the intent of rehoming. And we took in unwanted birds or birds that were being surrendered for whatever reason. It's one of the ways that I got Kate introduced to birds was through that, because where I was living, I had the room for a bird or 2, and I would take them in and hang on to them and socialize them and get them ready for people, and then we'd give them to folks that were after birds. After quite an extensive interview process, we didn't just hand them out. But I probably went through
good for you, Mark. It
quite a
sounds
few
like
birds there. Everything from little cockatiels all the way up to cockatoos. Amy,
Hi,
hi there.
Amy. Good to see you.
Nice to see you today.
Mark, your rescue bike sounds really neat. If you get pictures of it, we would love to see them. And Kayla, 2 years ago, I was given a couple of small banana trees that I planted in 5-gallon tubs or 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot. And they grew very well until last year when we had a cold front come through that I was not expecting. I didn't get everything cared for, and the bananas were one of the things that left. So I'm expecting them to grow very well. At least I hope so.
Mark rescues bicycles.
Yes.
That's a good thing to rescue too.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Let's see, in the garden, tomatoes and potatoes are growing. Yeah, both my tomatoes and potatoes too. A few weeks and I'll get to hug your. That's right, and I'm so
You
excited.
have no idea how much she's looking forward to this. Yesterday, she prepackaged a bunch of meals for me. That little trip that she went out to go get those banana trees, she also went by the Golden Corral, and I love their taco meat. She picked me up some taco meat, and then we have some a
Pulled pork.
big amount of pulled pork that came to us quite some time ago. So she's portioned those out and put them in baggies so that all I've got to do is just warm them up. And I've got like barbecued pulled pork for sandwiches, and I've got meat for tacos, and so I'll be able to take care of myself because I really can't cook very much anymore. So,
And I'll have other things for him before I leave too.
and
Hello, How to Garden, and welcome back, Howie.
so she takes pretty good care of me. She's hoping to be gone for about 5 days or so.
Celtic,
I'm
I'm
real
in
safe.
9B, and what they do is they grow pups off the base of the tree. I've not had one grow bananas since I've been here. When we lived in Corpus Christi, we had a banana forest, and they were always having bananas and then growing back.
He's a big guy. He's my big guy.
Um,
Yes, you are.
Alyssa, are you asking how my health is or someone else's? Amy, you want a couple of banana trees? I'll bring you some. I'll bring you the 5-gallon one if you want.
Yeah, it's me coughing. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You want your elderberry?
Yeah, I haven't had that yet today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys. I need to get him some elderberry syrup for his cough.
Amy, that stuff works really well. Thank you. Amy, excuse me. Amy is the source for our elderberry kit. And then Kate puts it together, and it really, really helps with my clogging in my throat. Helps me get it cleared up. Amy, it sounds like you know a little bit about banana trees. I don't think Kate knows a great deal about them, but when the opportunity comes along for her to get something like that, I mean, she was up and gone in a matter of minutes. Yeah, she was. It's a big boy. Mwah. That's my big fella. Thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome. It's really funny, Amy. When Dave and I first got together, and I would tell him about various homeopathic things that I used, and he kind of looked at me with a raised eyebrow. I took it with a grain of salt, but since he started taking the elderberry, he has become a real believer.
Oh, I
Hello,
used to have.
Susanna. Yeah, you used to, but a lot of the things that I would tell you about, you'd look at me with a little doubt in your face.
Well, I'm a child of traditional medicine, darling. That's all I can tell you.
I know.
You know,
I was raised with traditional medicine, but if I can do it homeopathically, I'd rather.
yeah,
Mark said we're waiting for the lockdown to be raised so his son can come visit
from Alberta.
from Alberta. Oh, cool. He moved there. Went too fast. Moved from Vancouver to be closer to other members of the clan. Yeah. Try Bach flower therapy. I'll have to look that up. I don't know anything about it.
Oh, Amy already has some banana trees.
Oh, okay. ACH.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You being a big old grouch, huh? You being a big old grouch. Don't you bite me. Good kid.
There we go.
Give me kisses. You don't bite me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you had bananas
No,
yet?
you don't want to get down there.
I can move the keyboard and then he can walk around on there.
No, I don't want him down there on the table.
Okay.
No, he needs to stay where he is.
My health.
Yeah.
I'm doing quite well, thank you.
He needs
My
to stay
only
right where he is.
difficulty right now is the arthritis in my hips, but I'm learning to deal with that. Doesn't hurt as much when I remember to take my pills on time. So that does help. I have to take a tramadol once a day. I'm very fortunate that and one aspirin a day keeps it all under control. So
Be such old grouch. Here,
7
let's
large
get over here,
bunches
so
last year. This is her 3rd year, and she got 7 bunches
Oh, cool.
last year. So I might get some bunches of whoops, there we go. Might get bananas next year. That would be exciting. I have no idea how old these trees are. Apparently, the lady just went through and butchered a big banana forest.
Yeah.
Granny
I
used
see
them
that.
in witch
Yes,
hazel.
I do.
Mark, what did
big
she
fella.
do
Give
if
me
she
that
used
old
them
stuff.
with witch hazel? Was it a topical thing?
What?
Thanks, Alyssa.
What? Arg. Yeah.
Arg.
What have been Arg. That's what the pirate says.
Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Yeah.
Yeah.
You good boy.
The big fella.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Was that
Be
a
nice to
lunch?
Daddy.
Was
Be
that
nice
a
to
lunch?
Daddy.
Peekaboo. The kisses? Oh, what? What are you doing? What you giving me all big mean mouth for?
Let's see.
What?
Kayla is cooking her brunch,
You're doing
collard
lunch or
greens,
not?
eggs, and bacon, leftover
Right.
chicken.
Step up. Attaboy.
Everyone
Kisses.
talking food makes me hungry. Kayla, if you come in here very often, you will find that is one of our largest single subjects that we talk about is food of all kinds.
collard
Welcome
greens.
back, Carrie.
I haven't had good collard greens in a long time, Kayla. My daughter makes pretty good collard greens. Kinder. She gets a. Haven't had those in years and years.
Celtic, I would think if you could grow them in large pots so that you could bring them in out of the cold, they would do well. This bird is 26, Alyssa. Our other 2 are what, 20 or 21? Is
Yeah,
that?
around 20.
Yeah, and the other one is
He's about
11.
6. Yeah, maybe
He came to us.
a little. Well, let's see how long we had him now.
Well, he came to us before we came to.
2012.
Yeah, so 2012, so he's 8.
Well, he's about 11.
Mm-hmm.
So he was maybe 3 years old when we got him. He was just barely an adult.
Witch hazel was used for a few things: sore throat, skin allergies, and poultices.
Poultices.
That's interesting. Kilty Gardner, hello. I'm glad
Hi
you
there.
came in to say hi. I did my grass yesterday.
Yeah, Kate's had a really busy weekend, actually.
I've been a busy girl.
Starting actually Friday, I guess. You did the front yard Friday.
Yes.
You know,
Backyard
bear in mind, we
Saturday.
live on 4 acres, so it's
a big job.
It's not just a little hand mower. She's out there on a big old 0 turn radius
I got power tools.
Husqvarna mower that I bought several years ago. And then yesterday she did the backyard and the side yards. So she's been a busy little girl.
And
And then getting all the bananas, and
keeping up with the rest of the
she's got
garden.
a lot of plants out front this year, which I'm really glad to see. I just hope they'll stay in good shape and not get eat up and all that sort of stuff.
I have 1 tomato plant out there growing in a pot that's only probably, maybe 2.5, 3 feet tall, and it's got 12 tomatoes on it. And it was getting so dense down at the base with so many small branches and leaves that I went through yesterday with the pruner, or day before yesterday, and pruned off a bunch of the smaller branches on the bottom, took them up to the porch and put them in wet potting soil, and they're still green today. So 2 days later, they're still green. Maybe they'll root and I'll get some more tomato plants. I've done that before. Brett cut the grass yesterday, tried to cut, but made the bees mad and got, yeah. I went right past my beehive. I can't tell you how many times, and they just ignored me. But ours are really small bees. They're smaller than most of the
They're
bees
very
that
placid.
I've seen, and they're extremely gentle. When Mr. Mark brought them out and put the hive here, he opened the hive up and dealt with them and moved things around and didn't even have a suit on or gloves on or anything. And every time he comes to check, the only thing he wears is a veil. And they don't cause a problem at all. When I go out there, sometimes I'll go out there and just stand close to the hive and watch them. I mean, by close, I mean within 2 feet of the hive, and they just go about their thing, and never do they bother us at all. So we're real blessed to have very docile bees in that hive. And I think we're going to end up splitting it next.
What's your problem? Hey,
next
stop
fall.
picking. I'm just talking to him.
I think we're going to split
Stop
the hive
picking.
next fall because it's almost full inside. And I noticed yesterday when I was mowing that they've started building comb on the outside of the hive down in front of the front door. So we're going to have to do something about it soon. So
what do you want?
my husband just taught me last week how to ride the lawn tractor to help him out. I love having this big machine. I really do. It makes me feel so powerful to get on there and ride around. Let's see. Kilted, well, since Bo is asleep, I better carpe diem and get the lawn done. I'll talk with you later. Take care,
Take
Kilted.
care. Thanks for coming by.
Happy's here.
Hello, Happy.
Hello, Happy. Good to see you, too.
Well, this connection seems to be stabilized. The one
Yeah.
we had first was
Only
not
one.
good.
Well,
I think there's two, really.
one on top of the other one.
Yeah. Mark, the guy that put him here, he does all the caretaking for him. He's a very experienced beekeeper. But he's been teaching Kate quite a lot of stuff. Pretty much every time he comes over, he's got something new to teach her.
Yeah. I haven't gotten the nerve to do it on my own, and I need to get the beekeeping suit before I can. But I go out with him, and I'm not afraid of them anymore. I'm just afraid if I get into the hive and do something wrong, I'll kill the bees, and I don't want that. So
Carrie said they've named their lawn tractor. It's called Bumblebee.
Mine is called Noisy.
Is it yellow?
Yeah, we're thinking about splitting the hive in the fall, Celtic. He said depends on how they do with building their supplies
leave that
and
alone.
stuff.
What's
he doing now?
He's messing with my hoses.
Do I need to go put him on his
No,
cage?
not yet. He's doing
Okay.
all right. He's just being curious. Aren't you?
Thank you, Happy.
Aren't you? You're just being curious. Yeah, you are. I know.
We got 20 people here and 13 thumbs up, so we're starting. Amy, you used 2 brood boxes and a super box. May have to add another super soon. Well, I guess, I don't know if you call ours super boxes or brood boxes. They're the big deep boxes. And there's, I think, 15 frames in each box. So, and it's got one on the bottom and one on the top. There's no queen extruder between them. So, and they're very, very full. So who knows? The tallow is in full. Tallow? Oh, Chinese tallow. Okay. You say tallow, I think beef fat. We do have a Chinese tallow, a little bitty one. Here in our yard.
I'm not sure what the flavor of the honey around here would be. It's going to be I'm thinking kind of a woody flavor because it's the trees.
We have a lot of mesquite in the neighborhood.
There's a lot of mesquite around here, and there's quite a bit of oak. I don't think that really contributes much, but the mesquite probably provides quite a few flowers for them. And then we've got a lot of wildflowers, so it's hard to say what flavor honey would come out of it.
Happy, I don't show your name as green. I show it as blue, and that's because you're one of the moderators here.
Yep.
I think Broussard Homestead is Brett. Hello, Brett.
Hey, Brett.
Glad to see you here, too.
Nice
My
to see
elderberry
you.
is not blooming, but it's growing like crazy. Sorry.
Brett, I take it maybe you're at work?
Probably.
Generally, if he comes in separately, Brett Broussard is a firefighter, and he works some odd shifts. So every now and then he manages to drop by, sometimes from at work. Yeah, I think you're just colorblind, big guy. They're all in blue here, kind of a purplish blue, but they're blue.
He is at the firehouse.
At the firehouse. Figured as much. Have you ever thought about doing a live stream from there, Brett? That would be really cool.
I think that would be difficult with all those firefighters. They
Well,
get a little rowdy.
But I mean, just to kind of show the place off is what I was thinking.
He did. He's shown it off in some of his streams.
Yeah, in some of the videos I've seen that. I watched
his streams. He did a live stream last Thursday night. He was at the firehouse.
Oh, okay. Well, I missed that. I have watched quite a few of your videos, by the way, which for me is quite an accomplishment. I don't watch many videos.
He doesn't go in and watch anybody's except mine and now yours.
Oh, he did that Thursday night. Okay.
Mm-hmm. He showed us their gym, and it's an awesome gym. I'd love to have one that close and that available.
Well, I'll tell you what, those firefighters got to stay in shape. That's for sure.
Everyone
Green
on chat
hair.
now. I'll be done. Well, I don't know what that is. You reboot and see what happens.
I think that's got to be on your end, Half, because
We've got Amy and
everybody
you
else
and
is in
Celtic
in
Bear.
white. And you and Amy and
Celtic Bear.
Celtic Bear are all in blue.
Mm-hmm. Going to be more footage in the gym with the weight loss challenge. By the way, I'm very proud of you. Like I said on my post, 3 pounds lost sounds like a small amount, but when you struggle with weight loss like you and I do, 3 pounds is a huge step, and I'm really proud that you've managed that in the first week.
Good for you, Brett. 3 pounds in a week. That's good. That is
Hello,
good.
old school. It's good to see you.
Ooh, that's good. Okay. Oh, what are you fussing about?
I don't know if you noticed, but
Yeah,
I also lost
Stop picking.
3 pounds last week.
Stop picking.
So I'm trying this with you. Can you see anybody in green happy?
Give it a rest. Yeah. Don't be picking. You just sit there and look pretty.
I haven't sprayed his neck today. That could be why he's picking.
Yeah. There you go.
That's great.
Well,
It could be part of the
so we're green.
choices that you made when you set it up.
So we're green.
Thank you,
Hey.
Gary.
Stop picking. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you.
Yeah, we knew Wep was down. Well, you type like I do. Are the birds heavy? Not really.
No, not really.
3 pounds.
Generally,
4
with
pounds.
birds. Excuse me.
Birds tend to be a lot lighter than they look because their bones are hollow. So they look like they would weigh 8 or 10 pounds when they're out there on your arm, and they weigh 2 to 3.
Generally, you keep your weight for your birds in
grams.
In grams, and he weighs about a kilo, so around 2.2 pounds. Bravo and Gandy are somewhat bigger. He's my linebacker. He's real thin, very slender.
He's thin and old.
Well,
Okay, Howie, do keep running and come back as when you can.
pardon me for all
She's
this.
on Murray's regime, so the pounds are coming off quite slowly. The doctor has told him he's too skinny. Oh, my. That would be very hard to deal with, especially if you have a weight problem being too heavy and he has a weight problem being too thin. That would be like Jack Spratt. Want the Samson stainless steel 9 tray. I love mine. It's very quiet. Happy, I have the Crawford 10 tray stainless steel, and I absolutely love it. I did not want to have anything that was all plastic. I know lots of folks love theirs, but I did not want plastic. I wanted a metal one. So I'm glad to see you did too.
She uses it quite a bit too. She dehydrates a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Amy's the dehydrating queen, though. She dehydrates so much. Yep. I love to dehydrate. I have a whole set of shelves in my pantry that's nothing but dehydrated foods. It amazes me how much will fit, once it's dehydrated, how much will fit in a jar. Kayla says she has friends that has an African gray. He was taught to sing opera. That's cool.
Wow. That's cool.
Hi, Last Warrior. Good to see you.
That's cool.
Welcome.
Kayla, I'm going to send a message to your mom and see if I can get her to join us.
Last
quick.
Warrior, are you new here? I don't remember the name. Hello, Leonard Coraya. How do you say this last name, honey? Corraya.
It'll be Coroya, probably.
Coraya, okay. Going to dry dill pickle chips for snacks. Now, that's a good idea. If you like pickles, that would be wonderful. Gary says, yes, Jack Spratt. He's still on his low carbs, but bigger portions. I think his metabolism is kicking in. Mine is on the going slow. Yeah.
Oh, get back up there. You don't need to.
Men's metabolisms are traditionally higher than women. It's harder for women to lose weight. I think that's because we're supposed to keep it on because we have to bear the children and nurse them. And so that's where ours came from. She said she was cooking as well.
Yeah, I just sent a message to your mom, Kayla, just to tell her that you were here.
She said she was cooking as well. Kayla said
okay.
that. Oh, it's Mr. Murphy.
Mr. Murphy.
I like that. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget.
Last Warrior. Well, that's a pretty significant name. Get that wing out there, big guy. Yeah, get that wing out there. There, come here. Step up. I want you to show me your wings. Yeah, come here. All right, show me your wings.
I like that.
Show me
I
those
really
big wings.
do.
Come on, big wings. Wings up. Yeah, wings up. Let's go. Big
Can
wings.
who say your name?
Oh, there you go. Look at that wing.
Can he or she tell
Look
my
at that
name?
wing.
Leonard Carroya is what I thought.
Roya, okay. Yeah, look at those big wings. Show me wings. Come on, wings like wiggle.
Thanks, Happy.
Wings like eagle. Come on. Wings up.
Ecocentric,
There you
it's
go.
good to see you.
Come on
Welcome.
now. You're going to be difficult, aren't you?
Well, I'd
huh?
say traditionally, I don't know that
Oh,
all
stop.
men are that way, but it's just
Yeah.
a lot
There
of
you
that
go. That
heavy
boy.
men and women comes from bad
That
eating
boy.
too.
Oh, you're just being a grouch today, aren't you?
Carrie, I don't think it'll ever go back. You're like me. Once it changed, and that's just the way it was.
Being an old grouch.
Is
Hey.
Liv here? I didn't see her come in. Hello, Liv, if you're here. Thank you,
Thank you,
Jason.
Jason. They're our pride and joy. They're the reason I haven't gone anywhere in years. Can't find anybody to take care of these guys, so it's pretty hard to take a vacation. Yeah. You keep us homebound, don't you? He's determined to do his preening right now, so
Yeah.
I'll leave him be for now.
Liv is here. Welcome, Liv.
Hi,
I did
Liv.
not see you come in. I'm so glad you made it today. Welcome,
Yeah,
welcome.
we're up to 19 now. That's cool. Got quite a few folks here.
Yay.
I love that handle, Last Warrior. That's great.
I do too. That's
That
wonderful.
is nice.
In case y'all are wondering what I'm doing, the guys, as my skin gets older, I pick up the guys to carry them and they bruise my arms. And I look kind of like I've been in some kind of a battle or something. And Karen from Kicking It with Karen told me that this stuff from doTERRA called frankincense would be good for my bruises. So I have been using it and it seems to be working. It seems that the bruises go away more quickly. And besides that, it smells wonderful.
Smells really nice. Yeah, it does. Smells really nice.
I like the way it smells. So. Oh, Celtic, you're still a baby. I'm 70. I'll be 71 in August, and he just turned 72. So 73.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep you numbered.
I'll take the 72 where things working out.
Tea
Try
tree
tea
on
tree.
skin? Okay. I use tea tree on my nails a lot.
Ah, Rainbow Angel. Okay.
Hmm?
But I'm just reading out loud.
Oh, okay. Last Warrior is 51.
I'll tell you what, Kayla, I had an African gray for several years. They're wonderful birds. They really are. They're just so intelligent.
Thank you, Lena.
They're just amazing birds.
Carrie is 62, and
Yeah.
Kayla is a half a century as well, as of this past March.
Yeah.
You guys have birthdays pretty close
Can't
together.
believe I
He's
have
the
a-
1st of February.
Can't believe I have a niece that's
Niece or cousin?
our cousin that's 50 years old.
You have a daughter that's 50 years old.
Yeah, and I've got. I am not in touch with them, but I've got nieces and nephews that are way older than that.
That's
Anyway.
what happens as we get older. So do our relatives.
Yeah.
Almost 68, half he is.
56 for
Ellie's
Ellie.
56. Well, that's because you changed names, and I didn't know you were going to come in as a different name. Hang on a minute, and I'll put it back.
There you
There,
go.
try that. You should be a moderator now.
Post again.
Lori,
You should be all right.
hi, Lori. It's good to see
Hi, Lori.
you. By the way, I'm enjoying your videos, Lori. I made a poncho following one of your videos. I think it was one of your videos.
And Tracy Eldon Smith. Hi there. Hello.
Hello, Tracy.
Getting a lot of folks in here now. We got 20.
Yes, this is wonderful.
Real
I'm glad
nice.
to see it. Aha, you're back. You're blue.
There you go.
How about that? I turned him blue.
We got to figure out a way to get this table more stable. You know what?
Yeah.
I mean,
Let me go get that poncho. I want Lori to see it.
Okay. Yeah. If I come on here as myself, I have a wrench too. It's I don't do anything. I wouldn't know the first thing about being a moderator. Kate's very good at it. She moderates for quite a few folks. Broussard's mainly on Thursday nights, and then there's several others. Oh yeah, this is a real nice piece of work.
Isn't that gorgeous? It turned out so well. I'm so proud of it.
Yep, it looks really nice. She worked on that a lot of evenings. Yep. Overworked Gardner, how you doing there, partner? I'm glad to have you here. Yeah, I agree with you, Amy. Kate is an awesome moderator. She gets praise for just about everywhere that she moderates because
Thank you, Amy.
she stays on the job and does what she's there to do and does it well. She's generally what do you call the name dropper or the link dropper? Is that right?
Link dropper, yeah.
Link dropper. But every now and then she gets to be
Carrie, I'm hopeless with knitting, with
quilting.
quilting. Thank you. The word went away out of my head.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Kate's good at keeping the riffraff out too. She'll drop you like a hot rock if you get in there and get abusive.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, she will.
I tell people that I'm going to mod for that. You got to understand, I'm going to do this. I do not show any favoritism, but I also do not cut anybody any slack. If they get upset, that's the way it is.
The one thing about this channel is we will not tolerate any kind of radical behavior, I guess you'd say, whether that be just swearing or cussing or maligning anyone or making any kind of charged comments of any kind. Just ain't going to happen. It'll be bye-bye in a heartbeat.
Amy, that poncho that I made took me almost 3 weeks to make.
Yeah, she worked. She was sitting there one night. I know it had to be frustrating. She'd put in almost an entire row.
No, I had put in a row and a half.
And something, she dropped a stitch somewhere. And it was way, way back. So here she is. She's pulling all this stuff out. And I look over and I say, "What are you doing?" She said, "Oh, I dropped a stitch back." And she must have pulled out 50 feet of
thread.
Of thread.
Yarn.
I mean, it just, I said, would anybody notice if you left that alone? Because now you're going to go back and, I mean, it was, like she said, a row and a half.
And those rows are, well, by the time I'd reached that point, I was on like row 70 or so. So I was pulling out a lot of stitches.
And Kate won't have it if it's not right. So she pulled it all out and went back to where she made a little tiny little mistake. I mean, it was, I'd have just said, screw it and kept going, I think. Yeah, I love to whack them trolls. What's that one called?
The what?
Who is it that
Troll
kills
Slayer.
The Troll Slayer. That's right. That's the one I wanted to be. If I was going to be a moderator, I want to be the Troll Slayer. Yeah.
And the good thing about being the Troll Slayer is that you don't talk to anybody. You
Jason,
just watch for trolls and slay them.
You're absolutely right. Kate would know, and it would bother her. She's a real perfectionist when it comes to stuff like that.
It would make you lose your mind too, overworked Gardner. Yep.
Yeah, I have to go all the way back. It must be a trait of people who do that kind of craft because, it's everybody I've ever known that did that would go back and fix it,
Well, but I've been crocheting since I was 5. My grandmother lived in Seattle and we lived in Corpus, and my grandmother came to visit us that summer. She would come every summer and spend 2 weeks with us. And she brought her crocheting. She had crocheted, I guess, all of her life too. And I watched her and I was so fascinated that I asked her to teach me. And she gave me a small skein of yarn and a crochet hook that was right for 5-year-old hands. And she taught me how to do the very first stitch, which is called a chain. And all you do is put your needle through the loop and pull another loop back and then do it over and over again. So I learned to do that, and for the entire year she was gone, I chained. And I had these big paper bags full of chains, and I made so many of them before she got back that I could wrap it around the outside of our house 3 times.
Whoa.
So she came the next year and she said, "Well, I think it's time I teach you another stitch."
Tracy had a baby chick.
Oh, cool. Baby chicks are so cute. I like them.
Yep. Kate is definitely the troll Terminator. You're right. She would be the Terminator. But she seems to enjoy dropping links more. She's got
Yeah, I do.
She's real smart about this. What she's done is, for all the various people that she moderates for, she has a document, and it's a list of all the various links and statements, click when you come in on the like button and all that stuff. She's got all these in a document. So when she goes on to moderate, she's got that, and then in the background, she's got this document. So she just goes back and forth and grabs the text of whatever it is she wants to do. So it's not like she types it in fresh every time. She just goes over there and copies and then pastes it into the narrative. And she does a really, really good job of being a moderator.
Thank you.
It got out of hand there for a while. She was moderating almost every day.
Yes, Happy. I will share that with you. You need to send me your email address, and then I can send it. And I'll give you mine real quick.
Share what? What's Happy need? It's not typing there.
Oh, thank you.
What does Happy need from you?
He needs my document for Daddy Curbs.
Oh, okay. Yep.
There you go. Grandmother Sarah Lucille tried to teach me sewing. I just don't. I love to sew. I just don't quilt.
Aunt Sis, that's who Kayla's talking about. That was her mother, my dad's sister. So obviously my aunt.
Celtic, send it to me. I'll send it to you too.
I remember Aunt Sis very well, and she could sew. She could sew like a son of a gun. She had a machine up. Yep.
Overworked gardener patience is something I think I was born with. I truly do.
Well, she puts up with me. That shows a lot of patience right there.
Tracy had one hatch 3 weeks ago, and the Brahma dad died. Oh, so she named it Hope. How cute! I love that. High Plains Mini-Stead said, "Hi, got sidetracked doing research for smoking meats. We have a pastrami in the smoker right now." Oh,
that sounds good.
My grandmother lived in Seattle, and she and my grandfather would go up into Alaska when the salmon were running and bring back all kinds of salmon, and they would smoke it in their smoker in the backyard, and it sounds wonderful.
Yeah, you're right, Kelly. Your grandmother was a very good cook. I used to enjoy when your mother and I were living near each other. I would spend a lot of time up with your mother and with my Aunt Sis, and I ate a lot of meals up there. And she was a very good cook. Good woman, as a matter of fact.
I've heard a lot of stories about that cooking.
Yep. Between my dad and my Aunt Sis, I ate good when I was a kid. And my mother. My mother's a wonderful cook, too. Yep. Oh, boy.
Fresh salmon is something that I really enjoy, and Dave's not too fond of. So
yeah,
it's a little bit strong for him. He doesn't like strong flavored fishes. So we do mostly freshwater fish here. Lake trout is a freshwater fish.
Yeah, I said I'll eat the lake trout.
Yeah.
I like freshwater fish.
Thank you. We are all well, Riki. I appreciate it. You love salmon too?
She's got faith and hope and faith, and now so get
do what?
Tracy said she's got her chicks now are hope and faith. Maybe she can get a charity.
Cool.
That'd be cool.
We're getting so many that I'm not going to name them. And besides, I probably won't see them till it's time to dispatch them and put them in the freezer. So I'll just call them all dinner.
It's not that I dislike salmon. I don't like really, really strong seafood. In other words, if it really tastes fishy, I'm not real keen on it. But I refuse to eat anything raw. So
thank you.
Like salmon sushi, no thank you. I don't, or tuna, either one.
Amy, so far I haven't found a fish that I don't like, but I am very partial to fried catfish. I absolutely love catfish.
I've been really jonesing for some catfish lately. I really have.
Maybe we'll take a trip to Austin.
Yeah, there's a restaurant up on the south side of Austin that's really, really good catfish. Last time I was up there, I probably ate 4. They give you like it's all you can eat catfish. I ate a lot. I really did. Arctic char is very mild. I might try that one. Yeah, I don't do sushi at all. I just don't. So now, Freaky Geek eats the vegetables raw. And there again, there's a couple of them I'll eat raw.
I know, Amy. You could be my daughter.
Yep. Amy, you and Kate do have a lot in common. I've noticed that already, very much so. It's a shame that you guys are so far apart. You guys would probably you'd match up like two peas in a pod and probably be best buds. I mean, you are already, but you know what I mean.
You'd be inseparable if we lived closer.
Yeah, I'd be. If I didn't know where Kate was, I'd know to call you.
Yep.
Okay, whitefish. Well, I'm not
Don't
sure
really
about
like
that either.
fishy
Catfish.
fish.
Catfish. I'll take
He doesn't
any day.
either.
Yeah, I don't like the fishy fish. I like mackerel. You're right. If it's got a really strong fishy flavor to it, I can't handle it.
And there are some saltwater fish that I don't think has strong flavor, but David really doesn't care for them. For instance, I love shark. I absolutely love shark and halibut, and David doesn't care for either one.
Amy wants to kidnap you, sweetheart.
Hmm?
Amy wants to kidnap you. There you go. Siamese twins miles apart. That's it right
That's
there.
it.
It is kind of amazing. I mean, Kate talks about you quite a bit, Amy. She, I
Sounds
know
good.
I have a pretty good idea of usually what's going on in y'all's lives simply because Kate keeps me updated. She talks about you and everybody else all the time. Okay, halibut, haddock, and flounder. Now, I'm not even sure I've had all those.
Happy, my parents grew up in Boston,
Now,
so we got all
Lobster?
those too.
lobster, I love.
Hmm.
They have the all-you-can-eat specials. I would love to run into one of these days and all-you-can-eat lobster because, man, I'd drive 100 miles to eat that.
Celtic, I think you're finding people cooking
Yeah,
catfish the wrong way.
They're
because-
cooking it wrong, Celtic, because this place that I was talking about up by Austin, they make a
Cod.
really good fried catfish.
Squid.
Now,
soup
cod
and
I have tried.
casserole.
That's pretty good, too. Yeah, cod is a pretty mild fish, I think.
I talk about Kate all the time.
Now, as far as squid, calamari is about the only way I'll take squid. Other than that, you can have it. But I do like squid. I do like calamari.
I like calamari, but that's the only way I've ever had that made. So I really don't know whether I would like it else otherwise or not. Now, I've never eaten crawfish because everybody that makes crawfish dunks it and steams it and cooks it in lots of peppers. And you know me and peppers, so I've never eaten crawfish. I used to catch them, though.
I'm not sure I've ever had crawfish, to be honest with you. Maybe when I was a kid, my dad liked it. Lobster or
likes
crab.
calamari.
That's either one of those. I would sit and eat all day.
Lisa likes shark, too.
Yeah, shark is now considered a pretty toxic fish. It's getting
Yeah.
a lot of mercury and
I
all
haven't had
kinds
it in a
of
long time either.
bad chemicals in it. Well, we're poisoning ourselves for our food anyway, but that's another story. Now, shrimp. I love shrimp, but I inspected shrimp for almost 4 years for the government down in Viola Battery, Alabama. I lived down in Mobile, and I literally had to eat shrimp every day because I had to cook some up and taste it, and because that was part of the criteria for my inspection. And when you're eating it that fresh, I mean, literally right off the boat, then you go to the store and you buy frozen shrimp. It's nothing like it, folks. Nothing like it. Fresh shrimp is vastly different than what you get in restaurants.
Freaky, it depends on the kind of shrimp you get. If I go to the coast, I buy it right off the shrimp boat, and you can get 10 to 12 in a pound, and those are half lobsters. I mean, they're big shrimp. So it depends on what you get. Tuna is excellent fresh. It is lovely. I agree, High Plains. I like it very
I'll
much.
take a tuna salad, and that's about it.
Ooh, Carrie's eaten alligator.
tuna
I've never
casserole.
tried that.
I've had alligator. Well,
I haven't.
not alligator, crocodile, I guess. Different, but
Same as swordfish, but I've always liked the big meaty fish. I have too, Lisa. I
yeah,
really
that's
have.
probably true. I guess if I had to sit down and eat a whole line of fish, I'm sure I would find ones I liked. But like I said, if it's just really, really, really fishy, oily, I don't like it.
Shrimp and grits. I like that too very much. Most people can overdo blue crabs with the Old Bay seasoning they use. I've never had blue crab.
No, that's an up east dish, isn't it? That's
I'd starve if all there was to eat was fish.
Yeah, I'd probably be in the same boat too. Well, that sounds kind of good. You're talking about doing, what are you cooking in that, Carrie? It's crab? Excuse me, folks.
I'm with Happy. I think crab takes too much work. Lisa says the only crawfish she's had tasted like mud. Sure. Well, that's why they're called mud bugs, Lisa. Let's see. Mark says grits. What is grits?
I'll open up another can of worms. Who likes oysters?
Grits are ground corn, and it's made like a thick
Caribe
cereal,
stuff,
like a corn mush. And I like it with butter and extra sharp cheddar cheese in it, but not everybody likes that.
Yeah, if we want to talk about some good eating, how about some good old New Orleans oysters with a good hefty horseradish sauce to go along with it?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good eating.
I can eat a lot of oysters. I can eat a lot of oysters.
That's
raw.
true, Amy.
But once you cook them up, I'm not too keen on them.
I could eat a lot of oysters if somebody else shucked them. I can't get them out of the shell
Well,
on
yeah,
my own.
that's a skill that
Yes.
can always tell a good oyster shucker because they got scars all over their hands. Yep.
I remember that, Freaky. That was a really fun show for the 2 or 3 seasons it was on.
Oh, pardon me.
Ground hominy corn. Well, now
Yeah.
see, I've had it white grits or yellow grits. Some of it is hominy and some of it's just plain corn. Happy raw oysters. Most people say that is a learned,
It's an acquired taste.
an acquired taste. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah, it is. But it's,
Amy doesn't like oysters.
Now, just the oyster, I might have a little trouble with that. But if you can give me a good seafood sauce with some horseradish in it, that's what makes the oyster taste good to me. So, well, I just can't stop coughing today.
Not keen on raw oysters. Love to deep fry them. You know, I don't really care for oysters fried or cooked, but I like them raw. But again, like David, it's I
Gotta have
like
some
it with the
sauce.
sauces. I don't like them plain. Kate used church key open oysters on. That's an idea. I'd never tried that. They always give me this giant knife. I have trouble holding on to it. They shove it in there and twist.
I just let them do it.
I can't even hold on to a knife, much less use it. So, you can eat them barbecued, Tracy. I've not tried them barbecued. That might be an interesting idea.
Forgive my noises, folks. I'm sorry, but this is what I put up with every day.
Spoon
after
of
I
raw
get up.
honey to help the cough, David. You want to try that? I've got some
No,
honey.
I'm all right. I'm okay. I'll be all right for a
Okay.
while. I'm getting ready to.
Ellie says no oysters for her.
I'm getting ready to make my break here anyway. We've been on an hour.
Conch fritters. I've never tried that
I
either.
haven't either. That sounds pretty good.
Hot tea with honey and lemon. Yeah.
Yep.
Church key.
Tell you, one of the things I used to love was scallops,
know what
and
that
then I
is.
got food poisoning from them, and I have not been able to look a scallop in the face since.
Oh, Mark
So-
likes mackerel with horseradish sauce.
That's probably good. I know any fish with a horseradish sauce probably be pretty good. Any of maybe those oily ones that I don't like would be better.
I like horseradish. I know what a church key is. Kelsey.
Well, yeah.
I have one in the other room. As a matter of fact, I use it to open my home canned goods all the time.
Yeah, I guess you do have to be, old enough to understand what a real can was before they put all the pop tops on everything.
Right.
The first time I really got surprised was when I saw a can of
Are you enjoying
pop-top
Florida?
soup.
Sorry.
Whenever they started serving or making soups with pop-top cans, I knew that can openers' days were numbered. Well, church key and then beer with snap tops, yeah. But anyway,
What's really funny is I don't even own an electric can opener. My can opener is hand twist the thing and go.
yeah.
I don't like the others. The electric ones I don't like. They always get
Well, you've been a real good boy sitting on here.
Freaky is leaving. I
Come
didn't
here.
see that.
Come here. Have you
Freaky,
pooped
take
lately?
care if you're going.
Have you pooped lately? Hmm? You need to poop. You need to poop.
Yeah,
Probably
my
do.
can opener, my church key.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking There may be two different kinds of.
Yes, you are. You're my good person.
You've been gone along. Freaky, you've been gone since you were born. My church key is a manual thing, and it has a point on one end and a flat thing on the other end. And the flat one is what I use to open the jars with. So it pries up the lids without destroying them sometimes. So Freaky says it's very true. He's been gone a long time. Tracy,
poop
never
down my
heard of
back?
fish and horseradish. Normally we have it with pork.
Do I have any poop down my back?
Nope. Oh, wait a minute. Lean forward. Nope.
He's sat here
You're
for an
fine.
hour and has not pooped on me.
He's not Gandhi. That's
I
wonderful.
mean, on average, these big birds poop like every 12 minutes.
High Plains, my grandmother had one of those in her house, and I absolutely loved it. It would fold down from the cabinet. You put the jar in and pop the thing down and turn the handle this way, and the jar would go around, or the can would go around. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, that was the old industrial can opener for sure.
I wanted it when my parents sold the house, but they wouldn't let me take it out of the house. I was going to take it off the cabinet and bring it home. They also wouldn't let me take the door that was on the pantry that had all of the marks from when the kids and grandkids and great-grandkids were growing up. You know how you mark the kid's height and the date
They
and the
wouldn't let
name?
you take that?
Huh?
Why?
She wouldn't let me take it off the house. She said, sorry, it's part of the house. It stays with the house.
That's odd. Yeah, that's kind of odd.
Yeah, well, she had some ideas about that. Amy says she needs a good manual can opener, but all the ones around there are mostly plastic. Mine is all metal with a wooden handle, and I love it.
Would you do me a favor?
Sure.
Would you put him back on his cage?
Of
I
course.
know he's
Come
got
here,
to
big
be.
guy. Come on. Yep. Up.
He's got to be ready to
Good
poop.
boy.
I don't want him to poop on me.
If you got a colon full and ready to dump it,
You may drop it before you get over there.
that's my good boy. I'll put you inside this time.
Okay.
Good boy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That number that I threw out there, that's a fact that these guys, on average, poop about every 12 to 15 minutes. So for him to sit up on my back here for an hour and not
And Gandhi can't sit on my back for 5 minutes without pooping. That's why his nickname is Pooty Butt, because he poops everywhere.
Yeah, I've heard they use a lot of horseradish sauce, but then
Traditional Sunday lunch.
forgive me for saying this, but the way that y'all cook beef over in the UK, you'd have to have something to put on that beef to make it palatable.
Spoken by somebody who likes Texas beef.
Well,
I don't know
British
anything about how
British
the
don't seem to be known too much for
strong flavored food.
how they cook their meats. You know, it's just. I mean, there's a whole lot of really good English food, but you know, there's just not that many. Well, now see, they're on an oily fish. Yeah, you're right, Mark. If I had a horseradish sauce for some of the oily fish, I might go for it.
Ellie, I think it's funny too, but it's so appropriate because the bird literally cannot be on my shoulder more than 10 or 15 minutes without pooping down my back. I have so many shirts that have got permanent poop stains. I can't wear them outside the house. So.
The good news is that Gandhi spends a lot of time with Kate in her recliner.
Yes, he does.
Now, the one thing he will do is he will go down to the foot, and Kate's reclining now, and he'll go down to the foot of the chair and at least poop on the floor, which we've got a piece of carpeting there to catch that. But
I have an area rug down there.
yeah, he at least does that.
Rolling Homestead, welcome. It's nice to see you.
Wisconsin.
I am 70. I'll be 71 in August, and David is 73. Mom used to cook beef
Slightly
until it
pink
was
center.
an ice hockey puck. I like mine pink and juicy too, Carrie.
Now that sounds pretty good.
Center.
Horseradish and potatoes.
Ooh, that
I've
sounds
never tried
wonderful,
that.
Mark.
That sounds good. Yeah, I don't use that much horseradish, but on the things that I do put it on there, it's kind of essential.
I have thought very seriously about getting some horseradish root and growing some just to see if the fresh is any better than what you get at the store. Everything else is, so it's got to be too. Maybe I can put it in some tartar sauce and make some fried catfish and horseradish tartar sauce.
Yeah, could do that. Yep, that'd be good. That would be good.
I think so too.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what, for me, I'm going to make my break here, folks. I'm
In mash?
kind of wore out.
Cool.
Okay. So anyway, Kate will probably stay on here for a while longer. She's still got quite a few friends to chat with. This is kind of normal. I give up about an hour in and let Kate have her time. So, folks, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for coming. As always, this is this is the high point of our weekend. It really is.
It is. It's lovely.
Y'all take care and have a good day. Amy and you too, Brett, thanks for coming by. It's really good to see you. I know I feel like I know you all, even though I've never met you, just by my association with Kate and how much she talks about y'all. I know she is really, really looking forward to coming down and seeing you, Amy. So anyway, y'all take care. Thank you for the good wishes. We'll see you next week. And in the meantime, stay safe. And, well, if you're isolating still, I urge you to continue doing so. In my opinion, the worst is yet to come. So anyway, that's my
Kayla
humble
says she'll
opinion.
tune in again.
Kayla, thank you very much for coming by. I very much appreciate you coming by.
Yes.
So
Great.
thank you. I really do.
Oh my goodness,
Take
it
care.
looks like everybody's leaving almost.
Yeah, well, we've been on over an hour.
Yeah, I know. I'll just visit for a little while till others leave.
All right.
Carrie, you take care. Stay safe. It was good to see you too. And High Plains, you're leaving as well, okay?
Uh-oh. Everybody's deserting the sinking ship, I guess, huh?
Yep. Last Warrior is still working, so he's still here. Now I'm trying to see who it was. Amy's still here.
Yeah, Amy will probably stay and chat with you for
And
a
they
while.
must have had a call at the fire station because I haven't seen Brett in quite a bit. So, oh, Carrie said she can stay. Oh, good. No, Dave goes in. Dave leaves at about an hour in. Being here at the table in this uncomfortable chairs is really hard on him. So, after an hour, he goes and sits. But I stay for a while, Carrie. I like to stay and chat. You guys are.
Give me a chance to talk about me.
He says, I just like to talk about him. Oh, Amy says it's nap time at the fire station. That explains why he's gone.
Yeah, nap time at the fire station. That's it.
Amy, I was so pleased to see that Brett is already losing weight on this challenge. I think that is so wonderful. I really do. I'm excited about that. He has to rest in the afternoon in case of overnight calls. Yeah, I believe it. He's on what? On for 24 and off for 48? Is that the way his schedule works, Amy? I know that's the way it works around here, but Louisiana is different from Texas in a lot of ways, and that may be one of them. I never know. Also, Louisiana has something called a parish instead of counties. I'm thinking that's just another name. 24 on, 24 off. Okay. We have 24 on, 48 off. So, which never makes sense to me, but then again, I don't set the schedule. So, oh well. Lisa, did you say that you had horseradish roots? And if you did, would you be willing to send me a little piece so that I can try and grow some? I want to grow horseradish. I want to grow turmeric. I have some ginger started. I would love to do all of that. Oh, then they have a whole week off on the third week. Oh, okay. Oh, our guys don't get that third week off. Maybe that's the difference. I think that would be cool, though, to have a whole week off every third week. That would allow you to get a lot done around the homestead for sure. I'm wondering if Lisa left. Oh, Amy, that's wonderful. Your turmeric is growing. I would be excited too. Trying to think what all I have out there. That I have 2 celeries that are growing from the bottoms I cut off of celery I bought at the store in the fall. Okay, that would be great, Lisa. If you'll send me an email with your email, I can get back to you with my address and all of that at the time it happens. If I need to, I can put it up again. My email is the same email I've had since 1996. And I get all kinds of emails all the time, so I don't think anybody's going to worry about hacking it or using it inappropriately, because I just cut things off. No, I don't have my mailing address listed in my info. I don't even think I have my email listed, because when I first set up the channel, I didn't know how to do it, and I need to go back and change it. Mark says Louisiana is definitely on his tour list. You love Cajun music and want to try barbecue down there. Texas, saving for beefsteak. It's a good place to get them. Let's see. Amy says we're all doing the weight loss challenge together. Abby has dropped 2 pounds. I've lost 5, and Brett lost 3. Whoa, that's awesome, Amy. That is amazing. I lost 3, but then I started it like 3 days after Brett did. So I don't know what I'll lose next week. Hopefully I'll keep losing. I tend, since I had the gastric bypass, I tend to lose a few pounds and then plateau for a while, and then lose another few pounds and then plateau. So the gastric bypass was supposed to make it easy for me to keep it off. It made it very easy for me to lose, but it has not made it easy for me to keep it off. I tend to get lazy and eat what I shouldn't and go right back to gaining weight again. So, although I really can't complain, because the gastric bypass, I lost 150 pounds. So by the time I finished that, I had gastric bypass, and 1 month later, I found out I had breast cancer. So I had to go through several surgeries for that, and chemo and radiation all at the same time. My body was adjusting to a gastric bypass. So I don't know during that time whether it was the chemo or the gastric bypass or what, but I was sick a lot, and I lost a bunch of weight real quick. When I got down to 113 pounds, my doctor got worried, and people told me all the time that I looked really bad. I looked anorexic or something. And I will admit, I lost way too much weight way too quickly. But now I'm back up to a more quote unquote normal weight for my height. I think I'm still too heavy. I'm 5'3", and I weigh 157 pounds as of this morning. And I feel like I should be down in the 140s, preferably closer to 130, but we'll keep going. What's the matter, Last Warrior? I sometimes get down on myself because I wear a size 14 in ladies' clothing, and then I remember that several of the stars of the 50s and 60s wore size 14. So Marilyn Monroe was one of them. She wore 12s and 14s, and she was supposed to have been one of the most beautiful women ever. So I can't be all that bad. But then again, when you get older, your weight changes positions. So I guess if I would go back to walking and go back to doing all of my stretching exercises, things might firm up a little. But with the arthritis in my hips, that makes it difficult to do. So, oh well. Weight loss like that combined with cancer is dangerous. Yeah. Well, what happened was the weight loss surgery was done not for me to lose weight, but to get my diabetes under control, because it had reached, I'd been diabetic for many years, and it reached the point where nothing was helping. And the doctor that I was going to suggested that I do the gastric bypass. And within 3 days of having a gastric bypass done, I was no longer diabetic, which was amazing. But right before having the bypass, I had to go and have a mammogram done, because I hadn't had one in like 15 years. And the doctor that read the mammogram said that I was clear to go ahead and have the surgery. So I did it. And then my gastric bypass surgeon said that the mammogram doctor had contacted him because there was something suspicious on the mammogram that he did not tell me about. So he wanted me to have another one done, and I did, and it turned out I had breast cancer. So I had to go through both. Mastectomies. They gave me the option of having breast reconstruction done, and I chose yes because they took the tissue from my abdomen, which had been just all this loose skin because of all the weight loss, and rebuilt my chest. So it was pretty neat. I got skinnier and I got better looking bosoms. Let's see. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. Yeah, diabetes runs in my family too. It really does. Welcome back, Mark. Thank you, Last Warrior. I'll be real honest. I've been through a lot of crazy stuff in my life, like 2 bouts with cancer and all this other stuff. But honestly, when I'm going through it, yeah, I'm sick. I had a lot of problems keeping food down during that bout, and I've had other problems. But God sees me through it, and on the other end, I feel fine. So, and usually there's a blessing that comes out of it. There's almost always a blessing out of everything that I have to go through like that. So I don't complain. There's no point in complaining, and I know I'm going to feel better on the other end. So thank you. I appreciate that. Well, guys, it's almost an hour and 12 minutes. If y'all want to hang around and chat, I'm willing. If you've got other things to do, I can always go find something to do. I'm supposed to go at 3 o'clock to see Mom, so I don't want to be too long. She called me yesterday. She was feeling a little bit shaky emotionally. So, yeah, Amy, our family did too. My mom and dad both had it. Or mom now no longer is considered diabetic because she was able to control it by changing her eating habits. My dad had diabetes when he died. All 3 of my sisters have had diabetes, and I did, but I had the gastric bypass, which cured it. My daughters don't seem to have the problem, although my older daughter has inherited my body type, and she does struggle with weight. My younger daughter is slim and thin and makes us both jealous. So you're right, Last Word. Father does find ways to make things right, and I absolutely agree. Let's see, Carrie said, I don't think you look big at all, Kate. Oh, thank you. I can't see where I've lost weight, but my trousers are baggy and my plaid shorts can't all be buttoned. Yeah, that's the way I can tell too, Carrie, is my clothes change the way they fit. Mark said, I now have been former type 2 for dealing with my diet. Very good. That is wonderful. Amy, do everything you can to control it, please, because while you've got it, it doesn't seem all that terrible, but it can do some really awful things to your body. Yes, Murray was diabetic, but he's controlled his levels and now normal range, but the threat is still there. Yes, it never, if you're controlling it with diet, they say it never really goes away. I would think that as long as your blood levels are showing okay, then it is okay. Which reminds me, I had my A1C checked the other day, and it was still below normal. So apparently that's still good. Hello, I believe in ghosts. It's good to see you today. Welcome. I think normal is for an A1C is around 7, and mine was at 4. So I'm assuming that's still a good thing. Might be on your way to pre-diabetes. I've been working on a diet and exercise. Do, Ellie. Again, I encourage everyone to be very careful with sugars because it does such terrible things to you. It really does. I just worry so much about people that have that tendency and that don't take care of it. Amy says, yes, my dad didn't take care of his sugar levels for years, and he's dealing with lots of health issues now. Yeah. Before David and I were married, I dated a gentleman who had diabetes very severely. He lost his leg from the knee down in one bout. He lost some fingers in another bout, and he lost the rest of his knee in another bout. And he refused to take care of himself. So it was pretty sad. Welcome back, Howie. I'm glad you did. Did you get all your tomatoes planted? Lisa got diabetes from a medication you were given. Now the doctors are putting people on diabetes meds at the same time they're giving the blood pressure meds. Big Pharma is the crock. I agree, Lisa. I agree entirely. I'm trying all kinds of things to get my blood pressure down. I want to get off blood pressure meds, and right now I take 2. So, Mark, one of the cousins, lost her legs to type 1 diabetes and 2 fingers. She said it was to stop her making red gestures. Oh, Mark, that's funny. She was obviously a wonderful attitude about it. Can get very serious, so be careful. I absolutely agree. Well, I believe in ghosts. I have the sweetest love in the whole world in the other room. He's been so wonderful for me that I just can't express it. And I don't have diabetes now, but I did for a lot of years. Oh, Amy, the mulberry trees are not rooting like I thought they would. I'll probably have to bring those to you in October. I don't think they're going to be rooted in time to bring to you now. Howie, I don't know if you were here when I told everyone, but I planted about 30 banana trees yesterday. So I've got a little banana forest growing on. Well, I appreciate it that you say no rush, but I really wanted them to come with me this time, and it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. Yeah, wow is right. I hope I can keep them all alive. Thank you. I believe in ghosts, and we wish the same to you as well. Carrie says we eat a lot more lentils now and bulgur wheat instead of rice and potatoes. Very good. I just got in last week some, some alfalfa seeds. And I did my first sprouts this week, and I started with 2 tablespoons of seed in the bottom of a quart jar, and now the jar is full and it's poking out the end. So I'm going to have to eat a lot of them in the next few days. But it was so easy to do. I was just thrilled. And I like alfalfa sprouts, which is really good. I like them on sandwiches. I like them in salads. I just like them, period. Let's see. You have 5 banana trees, and it's easy to make pups. Well, actually, Howie, all of these, I believe, were pups. The lady who gave them to me had a bunch of them out at the curb, and she was giving them away to anyone who wanted them. So Amy made veggies served over quinoa. You know, I've tried quinoa, Amy, and I don't think I do it right because I really don't care for the flavor of it. Yes, small banana tree is called a pup. That is true. You have sprouts. Where did I get my seeds? I'd have to look it up. I just Googled it and went from place to place till I found somebody that had one. I got 2 pounds for less than $10, and it's going to take me forever to eat 2 pounds of seeds with 1 or 2 tablespoons, making the whole jar full. What is this? Morag with a fiery lady, red-haired monster. Her nickname was Nessie. She's been gone about 12 years now, not to her diabetes. She got emphysema from working in the mills. Oh, that's awful. I'm sorry to hear that. You're green juicing this afternoon? Oh, Howie, are you going to do it online? Or are you going to videotape it? Because I have to go to Mom's this afternoon, and I'd love to see that. I love your juicing. I like alfalfa sprouts. Never tried to grow them. We like quinoa made with broth. I think it makes the quinoa. Well, maybe that's what I was doing wrong, Ellie, because the recipe I had said water. So I did water, and I wasn't terribly thrilled with them, but maybe broth would be good. Well, Howie, if you do videotape it, be it known, I will watch that because I absolutely adore your juicing. You get so excited about it, and you get so thrilled, and it's just amazing. She made the quinoa with, very good. You know, I'm looking forward to cooking with her. I really am. I'm very excited to get in the kitchen with her. You give alfalfa sprouts to the alfalfa seed to the chickens? I didn't know they liked them. Oh, that's another thing I did. A friend of mine has a horse, a business where she boards horses and trains them. And she feeds horse feed that comes in these huge, like 40-pound bags of seed. And she gave me a bunch of the bags to use as to stop weeds from coming up in my garden. And I was opening them up to lay them flat, and I discovered in most of them there was a little bit of the grain that they used to feed the horses with. So I scooped up some of them and put them in a seed starting tray with some soil, and they've sprouted. I don't know what they are, but they've sprouted. So I'm going to put them in a pot and see if I can grow them. It ought to be fun. Oh, you have a registered nutritionist. That's cool. Amy, do y'all have an Instant Pot, or should I bring mine? I absolutely love mine. I cook all the time in my Instant Pot. They don't look like the alfalfa seeds that I'm sprouting. They look more like kind of a long, skinny rice, maybe. Use a lot. Mark says he uses a lot of quinoa and other pulses now. They're great for sports when you need long release. Oh, okay. Keep the sugars down. I pack them for long cycle tours. Good idea. You don't have an Instant Pot. Okay, then I'll bring mine. Carrie, I heard that quinoa is better lightly toasted first. Now that's another tip. That makes sense too, because rice is much better when it's toasted first. I really did not know anything about quinoa when I tried it the one time I did, and I've got a bunch of it in the pantry, so I need to learn to use it. I had thought maybe I would put it in with soups this coming fall when it gets cold enough to make soups. Oh, excuse me, I've got the hiccups all of a sudden. When it gets cold enough to make soups, I want to try quinoa in soups. But I like the idea of lightly toasting them too. So, okay, that's cool. I don't know if they eat them. It's in the mixture. Oh, okay. Okay. They are tiny seeds. It was amazing to me, and how quickly they turn into all these sprouts. It's kind of shocking. I started eating the sprouts in the very early 1970s. I was working in Austin, Texas at the University of Texas, and there was a little sandwich shop down the way from us that made the most wonderful sandwiches and tempura vegetables. And I used to go there and get a sandwich, and they'd always put sprouts on that, and then they'd serve the tempura vegetables with a dip, and they put the veggies on a bed of sprouts. So I really liked it. I really did. I learned to love sprouts, and then I didn't have them for a long, long time. And I went to a place here in town that served them on sandwiches again, and I realized I had not had them in forever, and so I decided to make some myself because I like them so much, and they are delicious. Well, folks, we've almost been on for another half hour. Lisa Johnson, I remember doing mung bean sprouts in the 70s. I thought also, Lisa, about doing not mung beans, but pintos. I've got a boatload of pintos. So, well, I'll bring some seeds, and you can try sprouts. They're very easy to grow. They're a lot of fun to watch, and it only takes 3 or 4 days, and you have a quart jar full of them. So we'll do that. Mark, it was wonderful to have you come by. I really enjoyed seeing you. You're off to make dinner and then call to the family. You take care and stay safe too. And it was wonderful seeing you. Have a super week. Howie, great days to all fellow Earthlings. Great live stream, Kate. Thank you so much, Howie. You take care too. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye to you as well, my friends. And I will see you next Sunday at 1 o'clock Central Time, or whatever that relates to at your time. Take care. Stay safe. God bless. I love you too, Amy. And we'll see you next time. Shalom.